Portable TV. Come watch with me.
It's been nearly 1 week since the attack on the convoy that killed an Iranian nuclear scientist. And since then, Iran's parliament approved a bill to increase the country's uranium enrichment. Legislation Iran's president says is a bad idea. Meanwhile, Iran's foreign minister says his country will comply with the 2015 nuclear deal if both the United States and Europe honor their original commitments. RT's John Huddy joins us now with more on this story. And John, what's the latest here?
Well, first of all, Mohammad Javad Zarif, Iran's foreign minister, also accused Western countries, he said, of negotiating in bad faith and supporting, quote-unquote, Israeli terrorism, while accusing Iran of developing weapons, but yet Western countries selling arms throughout the Middle East. Those are his words. Iranian President Hassan Rouhani, meanwhile, took a less, shall we say, provocative tone, saying that the bill to boost uranium enrichment that would also suspend UN inspections is, quote-unquote, harmful to diplomatic efforts to restore the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, what's referred to as the JCPOA, the 2015 nuclear agreement. Well, Rouhani made the comments during a cabinet meeting in Tehran, saying his administration, quote unquote, does not agree with the bill and considers it harmful to ongoing diplomatic work, adding that it was more really a political effort by some of the country's lawmakers ahead of Iran's June elections. Iran's Guardian Council approved measures Wednesday to end UN inspections of Iranian nuclear facilities and also begin enriching uranium beyond the limit that was imposed by that 2015 nuke deal if the Trump administration economic sanctions imposed on Iran are not eased within 2 months. So then that leads obviously to the question about what the incoming Biden administration may do with Iran with the JCPOA and perhaps easing of the sanctions if that indeed happens. Look, there are many challenges involved with the U.S. rejoining the JCPOA. It's certainly not a clear-cut move without constrictions. So let me be clear about that. But all of this, of course, comes after the attack, as mentioned in the intro, on the convoy last week carrying Iran's top nuclear scientist, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, who both Israel and the U.S. have said was really the head. He was in charge of Iran's nuclear program and its efforts to build a nuclear weapon. There are new reports today that a Trump administration official suggested that Israel was indeed behind the attack. There's been talk of that. And there's also been speculation that perhaps Israel had help from MEK, the Mujahideen Khalq, which advocates basically in Iran overthrowing the Islamic Republic of Iran, installing its own government, and has allegedly been funded and bankrolled by Saudi Arabia. There have been some suggestions that perhaps the Saudis may have also been involved with Fakhrizadeh's assassination. And on that point, finally, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as we reported here on RT, made a secret trip to Saudi Arabia November 22nd, where he reportedly met with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, a meeting also reportedly attended by Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and other U.S. officials, thus fueling speculation that perhaps the U.S., Israel, and even Saudi Arabia, or perhaps with the Saudis' help, were planning an attack on nuclear sites. And of course, just days later, the attack on the convoy. Iran has vowed to respond to that attack. How, where, and when remains part of the question. Rachel, back to you.
RT's John